Hey everybody, it is that time of the week. It is your illustrious host, Infernal Drake and Dragon's Fury.
One and Dragon's trying to stay warm.
I am a little chilly, yes. Yeah, so we hope you are having a good one, and if not, we hope the episode helps, and if it doesn't, not our fault. So,
And if you are experiencing any crazy cold weather recently, we hope you're okay.
I was like, yes. So I do want to start this one off with a serious, semi-sad thing.
Oh no.
It just kind of like a us to you guys. We do thank you for the support and everything, but I would like to say out to the world, if you are, having struggles with, the big sads, especially with the cold weather, that is, it's triggering a lot of people's big sads.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody. It's good for you. It's good for your people who care about you and whatnot. So do that. Unfortunately, I have people in my circle that are going through stuff that is the big sad. And it's just kind of like one of those things of like you can't really do anything because it's medical, but still.
All we can do is hope that things will go well.
Yeah. So I know they don't watch this, but for the sake of Kara was like, we still love you, and we will see you when we can see you, because they live out of state and they were supposed to come visit us, but something came up. And then also to my internet niece, because I know she does watch this, stop being sad.
This is a threat.
This is a threat. Stop being sad. You have big things coming up, and you can't be sad for those. So knock it off and go to sleep when you're supposed to. And for everyone else, go to sleep when you're supposed to and drink your water. This is a threat.
Especially the water.
All right, so now we got that out of the way. Topic time. So for those who were here for the last episode, which I know there's a lot of you, I saw the numbers. It's like one of our highest viewed episodes right now. Don't know why you guys like the last part. I won't take it a certain kind of way because you just wanted us to stop talking about it, but whatever.
By the other reason, I was like, are they done yet?
Is like, yeah, everyone is just like, oh my god, finally, it's over. Like, because it's like, we range around like 20 or 40 views in like the week or so before like it gets into like the rotation or whatever, because like we have like ones from like years back that hit like a couple hundred views or whatever, because we're small. And
Yeah.
but this one's at like 66, and and I'm just like, what? Like I said, I won't take it personal.
And thank y'all for the views, I guess.
But yeah, thanks for the views and this. And so I told Infernal that we are going to talk about the Isekai genre, and the details to that is So this is something that me and one of my old coworkers, he's still my friend, but he's just busy, came up with in one of our discussions. Like, we were just having conversations about anime and like a book series and like varying like fantasy and like stuff or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so I am going to share with you, and you are going to add to some of the world building of this idea involving the isekai genre. That being, the isekai genre is a broken system of the powers that be. So
Is this because most isekai people just get OP skills out the gate?
No. So
Oh.
I got something for like all of it. So we gotta. Okay. It's gonna be a little bit all over the place because to fully understand our processing of how like we were like devising this out, it's very much of a give and take and kind of like a checks and balances kind of thing. So just for discussion reasons of like the whole idea of what we're talking about, let's just say we have entity A and entity B, right? So entity A and entity B are just the powers that be, right? So this is just the powers that create however big of a scope you want to make this, like, the worlds, the universe, the dimensions, whatever, however you want to scale it, right?
Yeah.
Is these individuals, just for simplicity's sake, these individuals are the ones who are in control of it, right?
They are
And
the rulers.
and we kind of, like, for better explanation, we kind of like put it in like almost like a business structure. So it's like you have your CEOs, your overarching individuals who is like, okay, we end all be all, this is how we say or whatever. And then you have like the individuals that kind of like help them maintain everything, right? So you
got like the CEO, the operations.
The CEO is all is whatever. So you kind of have like your creators of everything, and then you have like the ones running it, right? So typically everything is just kind of like running smoothly. So you have the living worlds, and then you have the kind of like non-living worlds in a sense. So like all of the afterlife locations are still a part of the whole system, right?
Yeah.
But it's typically kind of a point A, point B kind of pipeline, right? And then like everything in between. So it's like
it's a circle.
You have your life or whatever, and as you do your life, blah blah, you use your time, blah blah, you come in or whatever, and then you now have your, for all intents and purposes, your afterlife, and then that is doing everything over here. So when we started like going down and like babbling about this, is like, what if the isekai system is actually a like glitch in the pipeline, right? People aren't supposed to cross like so like each of the worlds are their own specific ones, so they kind of have like their own, and this is where things start to get confusing, so bear with me.
So each world is its own separate entity,
right? So like
never crosses with the ones next.
So like our world has our souls, our energy, our flux, whatever. We have our own system, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the isekai world also has their souls, their energy, and a pipeline for the afterlife. It's only supposed to be point A, point B, point A, point B. That's just how it works. It's just supposed to be in there, right? But somewhere, along the line, somebody fucked something up, and
we sprung a leak.
That's a good way of putting it. We sprung a leak. So basically, the souls started mixing, and so now there was an imbalance. And so the isekai system is trying to replace the balance. And then
it's trying to correct the balance.
It's trying to try to make the correction because there's an imbalance. Prime example, Fairy Tail with their two, right? So who was it? What was her name?
Lisana?
Yeah. The
fact that I remember that.
So for those who are unaware, she basically got yeeted over to the parallel dimension in the Fairy Tail universe because at that time her parallel had died suddenly. And so in this weird interaction between the two, she got sucked over in kind of like a balancing act because that one wasn't supposed to leave so soon. And now she's taken the place of the other one. But now we have like this gap in our world for Fairy Tail, right? But then that's where Jalal comes in, because now he's someone from the other side who's filling in for the missing spot that Lucille went to straight. So now, again, it's like this weird correction but it's still imbalanced because he doesn't match here because he's not from here. And she doesn't match there because she's not from there. And then later on, when they do the correction, because, the whole Exceeds thing is the imbalancing as well.
Yeah. All the cats.
Everyone starts getting yanked back, right? So essentially, that's kind of like what we were like using. It was like, what if this is like kind of this whole system that came into place to try to make this correction, but in the process, it's making things worse. So now you have people who are like, yeah, for the isekai system, and then people who are like, no, this is making things wrong because there's no way to control it, right? And so
Imagine something like the TBA when they're trying to like fix the sacred timeline. It's just like, what the fuck is happening?
similarly, and then we like jumped into the whole like truck-kun like meme, right? So it's
Oh
like,
god.
oh, why is it always a truck? And then like the meme of it being a business of it's like, hey, they're
Yeah.
getting these like basically they're like, hey, you have to go take out X amount of people, blah blah blah. You get their payment, however the payment is made or whatever. And so, but they're doing it so unregulated that there is someone else trying to intervene, but they can't because that goes against the original rules because the isekai system is against the original rules. So it's like, for example, the ones where it's like, oh, they get isekai'd, but they end up in like the wrong spot. Like we have like a bunch of them where they're like, you weren't supposed to die. Like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be here. We can't send you back because we don't have the means because you're not supposed to be here. And so the powers that be are being like, okay, well then give them something that would allow them to survive so that they can still live out their time that they're supposed to, and then we kind of like correct the energy flow somewhere on the back end. And
One OP motherfucker.
and right, which is another problem with this system because the so essentially we started talking about in that regard, it's just like, oh, why do they always end up OP? It was like because the souls are incompatible with the world.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be there. And so, however you want to look at it, the ones from the other worlds, their souls may actually be stronger than the native ones. So the power system that be reacts way differently.
It freaks out.
And prime example, like to kind of like help the understanding of like where we were going with this is Moonlight Fantasy.
Yeah.
For those who are caught up, it is hinted at that he is actually originally from that world. But like from in the sense like he was conceived in that world, and then
Yeah, it's like he
his
was born in
parents
the world.
jumped ship.
Right, it's like he was there, then he wasn't, then he's back. It's like what?
Right, so it's like he was conceived like so in my mind like the hang canon is like his parents conceived him there, and they were like, we can't have him here. Like it was already bad that they were together.
We do not like that goddess.
It was already bad that they were together to begin with, right? And so
Yeah.
they were like, oh, it's real bad if we have a kid, right? So they found a way to jump ship, end up in our world, and he's born and lives as normal, whatever, but he's still not of our world, so his soul makeup and how, you know, whatever, is fundamentally different. And so when he returns, which they do explain, our Earth is way harsher and is basically like a Nerf zone. And so he's been Goku training his whole life. And so when he returned home, is superhuman because it's like, oh, you would normally not be superhuman, but because you grew up
Let's go to
in
easy mode.
yeah, you grew up in hardcore mode, you coming back to normal mode is like broken. And so amongst you know the varying details or whatever is like that. But my question to you is that do you think there might be like a underlying conspiracy that goes along with our like thought process? Because a lot of the isekais lately have been along the line of they weren't supposed to summon people. It's taboo or it's forbidden.
Because I think one recently, it's like they literally summoned an entire class of people. It's like we weren't supposed to have this many people.
Yeah.
Or what was the one that the wrong way to use healing magic?
Yes. Yeah. He got caught up in the summoning spell.
And because of that, he technically became the strongest. True,
Um,
through some intense training, but still.
yeah, I would say he becomes the strongest, but I think it's kind of a plot, like it's a plot armor strong, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like if if they if they did the same amount of training like him, the hero 2 would also be as strong, right? But they weren't going
I'm
through.
very curious if they would even be able to survive that training.
I was getting to that point. Like they might have not, they physically would not have been able to get through it, because like his training was done only because he has the ability to basically reset himself. Um
Yeah.
and but there's stuff like that. There's the, what is it? Level, like my isekai, my level 2 cheat skill one,
Yeah.
where basically it's like, oh, you got pulled over and we're mad that you don't qualify, and so they try to get rid of him. um
God, there was another one where it's like he gets these guys obviously, and the guys are like, "Oh, this was supposed to happen," and just literally gave him like some of those OP skills that they could give.
yeah. um
I'm just like, okay.
Farming life is the same way. Like he's he wasn't supposed to have died. Like he admitted, he's like, I got it wrong. Like the reincarnation guy who's like, I'm sorry, and then gives him basically this essentially this replica of a god artifact that is supposed to kill him actually, but the reason why it doesn't is because his body is.
Zuko wants to join the conversation.
No, he's being a butt. That's what he's doing. And so, hold on.
Patience while we sort out the Zuko situation. Oh God, no, not that way, not that way. Zuko, run! God, stick to it if you have that thing. Honestly, if you
All
brought
right,
out the
it's been.
assault rifle version, that would have been so much crazier.
Yeah, no, that would have been a problem. But there we go. He should be dealt with now. Um.
Crazy thing Senator pulling out a gun.
Remember, kids, it's a
He has
toy.
been dealt with.
It's just a toy.
It has a
And
safety and everything.
it does. And so, what was, yeah, and so like his body is superhuman. Like it refreshes its stamina. Basically, like, wrong way to use healing, but naturally. So that's the reason why he doesn't die, is because he refills his energy faster than it's getting drained by the weapon he uses.
That's crazy. I've been meaning to actually check out that
Yeah, it's a fun show. I think it was a part of the announcements for another season coming, because Moonlight,
anime.
Tanya is getting a second season, which is like the proper way to do quote unquote an isekai.
Yeah.
Because and I think that's what like triggered it, because it very much gave into like our thing of being like, oh, hey, here's an entity that is directly affecting the like soul transfer, right? And he did it out of a petty reason. Like it was like,
I
oh,
do
you
not
don't
believe
believe
in
in me?
you.
Like, no,
I
fucker.
bet.
Like it, like logically speaking, you aren't who you say you are. You're something else entirely. And frankly, I don't give a fuck. And so like, but it was like, well, why not? It was like, because I have no reason to. Like, there's none. It was like, oh, so if I put you in this situation, then you would believe in me? And he's like, no, still no, bet. And then now I don't know why he turned him into a little girl. That is beyond me. But
Yeah.
hey, here we go. We got a middle management guy who is essentially atheist, and now you're have all the intensity of anger pointed at this mysterious being that is actively trying to kill him. Because I think at this point, like, it's only the one season, but between the season and the movie, I think there has been a change in being X'd, that it's like, oh, it went from trying to prove a point of, was like, hey, I am, the reason why you should be whatever, to I have fucked up. She has gotten way too powerful now, because it's like, it's using his power out of spite. So it's not giving him the reaction he wants. Like, yes, she's praying to him to activate her power, but it's a prayer in spite. It's like, I'm praying to you so that you have to witness the absolute carnage that I'm about to bring in spite of you.
Carnage it is.
Like, it's really like, this is on you, big dog, and not my fault.
It's like,
I just prayed to the great being X. So it was like, whatever. And
drops a nuke.
Body count. Like, here's paperwork. Dead people. So yeah. And I think I also like I would like to have, like, a more stories like that, because that's why I want the Return of the Warrior to get an anime, because that is a story that has not been told in anime that I have watched, because I know there's a lot of anime out there, so I'm not gonna be like, it's never been done. I haven't come across it yet, but essentially,
if you're familiar with Return of the Warrior, let us know in the comments if there's an anime that's close.
Yes. So the concept with the Return of the Warrior is that Earth is actually the pull spot. So instead of it being like, oh, you're being, Isekais or whatever, Earth is the place that is meant for summoning. So all of these other worlds do summonings on a regular basis for their crisis. They summon a hero every so often, and they always come from Earth. And so the kicker is that the ones who win and beat the big bad come back to Earth, and they maintain their powers and everything that happened to them from the other world.
I think there is an anime like that.
You tell me. And so it's basically telling the story of, like, one of these warriors of the current generation that comes back and finds out his life is in shambles. Like, absolute shambles. Like, his parents are dead because his mom was out looking for him because she knew that something happened, but in the process, she got hit by a car. And
oh my God.
in his grief, his dad committed suicide, and then the rest of his families blamed it on him because they all thought he ran away, right? Not the fact that he's been legitimately gone from the face of Earth and then came back, and he was like, hey, I finally, like, I made it back, like, I'm trying, like, he was very much going to explain everything, but no one was like, listen, it was like, this is your fault, like, this person's dead because of you. And it's like, his uncle was just like, I can't believe you came back after blah blah blah. And he's finding out all these things because he comes back home, and he's like, I finally make it back home, I'm trying to explain, like, what happened, blah blah blah, and everything's shit. So he goes major depresso. Some asshole rando is just, like, bullying him for no reason. And he basically just snaps. He's like, why is it I risked my life to save another fucking world? I make it back home, and my life is complete shit, and then you're making it worse. So he summons his sword, decapitates a motherfucker, and then starts going on a rampage.
Reasonable crash out.
Crazy crash out. For the rest of the story to be this isn't the first time this has been happening, because, like, up to that point, you don't know this is a regular thing. It's been happening for generations that people are disappearing, making it back, but because of whatever world they went to, they come back with certain types of powers that may or may not allow them to work in current society, and they're out here crashing out. So yeah, I want that as an anime. I want that one specifically as an anime. I think it came back recently, so I got to get back to reading it. Because it is. Whew. And the plot twist.
Oh.
It is so good. When they hit that plot twist of what's really going on. Ooh. Good stuff. So, recommend if you haven't read it.
I will have to add to my reading list.
Yeah. So, any further comments, additions, installments, thoughts, provoking questions?
Oh Jesus. I'm trying to think of like all the, cause like there's so many isekais. There's a lot of dumb ones I will say that have come out recently.
Yeah. That's for sure.
I think my only gripe with isekais these days is how long the titles are. That's one of them.
I'm starting to think that it's a bit at this point. Like, I think it's become its own meme, and it's just kind of funny to have them still. And so instead of it being, oh, hey, it's, this clever thing or whatever, what if it is this long-ass thing? Like,
it's like, oh, yes, let's give the entire synopsis of the entire show right here.
Right here, right? But, so, well, we will wrap this one up here. And, of course, we thank you all for your support and watching and being a part of the discussion. Leave comments, concerns, queries, your own conspiracy stories, world-building words.
World-building words, got it.
World-building words, yes, of varying like systems that exist in anime or something, or just other stuff that you just come up with in your head. I'd like to know. Tell me these things. And we'll see you on the next one.
Stay warm, stay hydrated.